everybody, welcome back to Maximum Voice. I'm super happy to have you here because today we are going to do a little refresh and detail. Today we're talking about support once more, especially about your solar plexus support and your pelvis floor support, and especially on how they work together. If you remember, there's a video called PTK, which is an exercise video on strengthening your solar plexus and your pelvis floor and teaches you the movement that they two should do. What I noticed was with my students lately that a lot of my students have a tendency of, instead of pushing outwards, they're pushing inwards, which is not necessarily wrong. If you're in yoga, this is exactly what you should be doing. But in singing, we need the other way around. So we want to push something out instead of pulling something in. So as a woman, if you give birth, you push something out. As a human in general, if you eat something, something needs to go out and we push it out. So that's the movement you want to do. And with your solar plexus, really you want to have this inward movement that we don't want to have with the pelvis floor. So if you try to push to the outside with your solar plexus, that's really not helpful because our solar plexus is basically there to pull open our rib cage, open our lungs, let us breathe. So if there's tension on our solar plexus, it's getting like really wide and flat, pushing the rib cage to opening up the lungs and let air in. And if we want to breathe out, it's closing, it's getting like a little ball, basically, pulling together the rib cage, pushing up the lung a little bit, so it's compromising it, so the airflow is going out. When we sing, we need to get the air out, and we need to have a good pressure, so our vocal cords are starting to swing and produce sound. So if you can imagine, if you try to pull outside now with your solar plexus, you just push your lungs open and open and open. So how should there any airflow be started and or created in this point? So solar plexum wants to pull inside, pelvis floor wants to push outside. Now that sounds a little bit difficult, but it isn't, I swear to you, if you know how to do it. So if you give a hit with your solar plexus, you can hold the flow and your pelvis floor will automatically start to push downwards because our solar plexum is also pushing downwards on our organs. So our pelvis floor has to hold that. This is the pressure that is going to help you keep your breath flow longer. So you want to hit and hold. Hit and hold. Ha! Ha! So you can see it's a hit. This one's holding and my note is very stable and going on. If I show it on a song, for example, I Will Always Love You, I love to use that song for it, especially because you have this long passages and this hit that you have to do for the jump. It would look like this. And so you can see at first I'm hitting, I'm transferring that pressure down to my pelvis floor. My pelvis floor is managing my breath flow, my tension, my everything. Everything stays open and I can sing right outward. The movement in itself is looking something like this. Hit and hold. Hit and hold. So it's like going against. The here is going inside and this one is going outside, going inside, going outside. Inside, outside, inside, outside. So they always taking the other direction from the other one. And in this way, you will have a very good support and you will have all the options you want to have to work with your solar plexus to support jumps, to support all the things you need to support with your solar plexus hits. I hope I was able to make it a little bit more clear on how this is working, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I hope you subscribe to the channel, leave a like or a comment. I would be very happy to hear from you, and I see you next time.